Mayor, just to circle back on a question that came up earlier. With Winnie Greco, she was added to the substantial policy-making list in just the past few days. Why was she added to that? What policy has she been overseeing? And then on a separate issue with federal aid related to the migrant crisis, Biden administration officials told me yesterday that the reason that the city has only received a third of about $150 million allocated is because the city just hasn't submitted the right documents. One official, I just want to give the full context, one official even said that your administration has not stepped up to the plate, and that that's the reason that the money hasn't been saved.
So let's look. There are 3,000 people on the list of substantial policy. You know, it's just not one person, and the council can go into that. But think about this for a moment, what you just stated, just dealing with the migrant funding. You said the number, 150 million. We spent $4 billion. Mm-hmm. Think about that for a moment. Yeah. So 150 million, we spent $4 billion. So the best way to take people's mind off of the real issue is that you use some form of sleight of hand. So even if we would have gotten the whole 150 million, we have a $4 billion price tag. And not only are we saying that is too bureaucratic, it's too difficult, it's too challenging. The amount of money you could spend on a hotel is not even realistic to the amount of money a hotel costs in New York. So if someone is saying that New York has not stepped up to the plate after spending $4 billion, and they're saying we have not gotten 100 million, because they said we got a third, which is 50 million. They said, well, they didn't get this other 100 million that is really, you got to send so many documents in, which we have been doing. Every document, every penny we can get, we have been going after. But let's be clear here, because we'll lose sight if you just say, well, why haven't y'all done more than what you've done to get 100 million? Chris, we're dealing with a $4 billion price tag. $4 billion price tag. So if the story is y'all have not done a good enough job of getting 100 million, I hope you go back to that person who stated us we haven't stepped to the plate and say, have you guys stepped up to the plate in helping them with this $4 billion, securing the border, allowing people to have work authorization, make sure we have a decompression strategy? Ask them, have they stepped up to the plate? New Yorkers have stepped up to the plate.
What specifically about those applications is so difficult? I was also told that other cities have managed to unlock all the funds. Chicago, for instance, they managed to get their full allocation. Why is New York City?
How much did they get, Chris?
Around $40 million. But the same thing.
Same thing.
Application requirements are the same.
We've met all applicable timelines on this, and we are working with our federal partners to meet all the requirements, but we've met all applicable timelines.
And I've also heard that Chicago and Portland have said that they would like more flexibility in the rigor, how much rigorous information that they need.
I'm not really getting an answer, though, to what is it with the application requirements that make them so difficult that we've now gone almost a year since this money was allocated, and it's still not here in New York City.
We'll look into it and circle back to you, Chris.
Yes, but I don't, again, because I can see your headline, I don't want you to miss the fact that even in an ideal situation, we're talking 100 million in comparison to a $4 billion price tag. So I hope that you would say, if their opinion, we have not stepped up to the plate, have they stepped up to the plate?
And Chris, if they feel that we're not doing the adequate job, why don't they give us resources? Why don't they come and say, listen, this is what you need to correct? In our administration, if we give people paperwork to fill out and they cannot get it done, we assist them. So if they feel that we are doing something incorrectly, since they are the federal government, it would behoove them to say, listen, you guys are doing a great job. You don't understand this. Let's work together as a team and let's get it done. Instead of
yeah. No.
Let him finish. Mm-hmm. No, they said they sent a team last week. No. Not to go over forms and applications.
I think this is an important point.
Yeah.
I think this is an important point. We have a very sophisticated team at our Office of Management and Budget. Mm-hmm. We have received billions upon billions of dollars from the federal government. We know how to submit paperwork and do applications.
Yes.
So I think the question is, for them, why haven't these funds been released?